Hi friends, welcome to Heart and Homestead with Dawn and welcome to my kitchen. It is September 29th. We are still harvesting and we are still preserving. Today I have a special guest in my kitchen right behind me. You can't see him because he's busy at work, and what he's doing is he's working on some cayenne peppers. These are the two most prolific crops we have growing right now, cayenne peppers and jalapeno peppers. And today I want to invite you to come and see the methods that we are using to preserve them. Hey, honey.
Hey.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I guess the best way to describe it is, I always say that next to the Lord and you, my wife, that plants have been my passion. So I've been growing and exploring, growing our own food and medicine for years. And I am a certified family herbalist, and I'm a certified garden coach as well.
Fabulous. And what are you going to show us today?
Well, this is the most important herb that I have found. In fact, many people would agree, and it's cayenne pepper. And we're making a cayenne pepper tincture today.
And why would cayenne pepper be the best herb, and why are you making a tincture?
Yeah, well, it's got a ton of benefits, and it's loaded with vitamins C, A, B6, and K. But in addition to that, this cayenne pepper here, this is one of the healthiest things you could take. It's actually, people think it's harsh on your stomach, but for many people, it's been proven to be a digestive aid. This is a good heart food. It's a circulation herb. It's a carrier herb. It'll bring, if you're taking other herbs or vitamins, it'll carry them to the different organs and parts of your body. Mm-hmm. It's a bleed stop. When I had my tooth pulled, it wouldn't stop bleeding, and I drank some of this and put some of that on the wound, and it stopped the bleeding.
Mm-hmm. And so when you put it on the wound, do you use the tincture or do you use the powder?
Whatever you have. Whatever you have is good to use.
Okay, so can you explain to us the process of tincturing?
Right, so we've been tincturing for a while, and we take this every single day. Cayenne tincture. Here's the cayenne, here's the end product. It's in a 1 ounce dropper bottle, and we take 3 dropperfuls a day. Now everybody is different, and cayenne may or may not be good for you, but most people it's very helpful for them.
What exactly is a tincture?
An extract that is using alcohol to extract the active ingredient, which is capsaicin, out of the pepper. Okay, capsaicin is also a painkiller too, by the way. People use capsaicin pain patches.
That's right. Do you can you use like a vegetable glycerin instead of?
You cannot for this, because the skin on the cayenne peppers is leathery, tough.
But there are some tinctures that are made with
softer herbs
for children and things like that.
Yeah, there are softer herbs like maybe oregano or basil or something that's soft.
So right, okay. So like for anything that has like a thick skin, you need.
Yeah, if you have a thick skin, you need to have a strong. It's called a menstruum. Believe it or not, it pulls out. Okay. It purifies and pulls out the active ingredient out of the pepper.
Fabulous. All right, let's see the process.
Okay, so over the years, we have improved our process. Mm-hmm. So these are fresh organic cayenne peppers that we grew in our yard. And I'm slicing them just a little bit, just to get the juices flowing. So it's like a little juicy in there. And I let them sit for about a week on our sun porch, out of the sun.
So they're not dehydrated, but they're not freshly picked right off the vine.
They're just starting to get a little squishy and juicy.
Okay.
And you don't have to do it this way. We have done it all different ways. We've used dried cayenne. We have used fresh cayenne right off the vine. And now I'm using fresh cayenne, but I'm letting it sit a week, and I'm slicing it a little bit. And it's just starting to get juicy in there, so I'm putting it in the jar.
Fabulous. And you're not using gloves.
No.
Do you recommend that people handle?
You should wear gloves.
Definitely wear gloves.
I don't care. In fact, I made a mistake once. I was supposed to speak at a health conference, and I was a little sinusy, and I thought I was going to pick up my saline sinus spray, and I didn't. And I picked up the cayenne tincture instead, and I shot a whole dropper full of cayenne up my left nostril, and I let out a yell. but it cleared my sinuses and it hurt like heck, but it didn't hurt me. And that's what the report is, that while this may burn, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't damage cells. It hurts, but it doesn't damage cells. And your stomach likes it. It's good for ulcers. It's good for digestion. It's good for your stomach with most people. Everybody's got their own, I would say everybody's got their own factory to deal with, so you have to learn what works for you.
Can you please explain why this tincture would work for migraines?
Okay, so cayenne pepper goes right into the arteries, gives you good blood circulation, but a lot of times when you get a migraine headache, it's because your blood vessels are constricting, and cayenne pepper is a vasodilator, so it opens up your blood vessels and lets the blood flow again. And that's what helps. It's the vasodilation that helps with migraine headaches. And if you take it as a preventative, you take it on a regular basis, as we do, we take it every day, it'll keep your arteries and your vessels open and everything flowing well. So you may avoid migraine headaches altogether if you take it on a regular basis.
Right, and so I do. I have one of these in my car. I have one of these at my job, at work. But when I first started taking it, because unlike Brendan, who can handle these without gloves, I cannot. I have to wear rubber gloves when I handle any of the hot peppers. I also don't like super hot, spicy things. This is really flavorful, but it was too hot for me. So when I started taking it, I'm gonna show you, I had a mug about this size, and I put 1 drop in a cup of water, and I would drink it. And then after about a week, I'd increase it to 2 drops or 4 drops until I was able to tolerate an entire dropper full. Now I can do an entire dropper full in half of this, and I just do it right, you know, like kind of like a shot. And I will do that 2-3 times a day, and it really does help to keep the headaches away. Okay guys, so we're at the point right now where we're almost ready to pour the vodka in. Brendan, can you explain why you have this so packed?
I just want to say a few things first. You want to cull the peppers, so you don't want to put any peppers that have a spot or blemish on them, so we just throw them aside. This is going to be sitting for a few months, 8 weeks at least. And the other thing is too, just a medical disclaimer, this is not a medical diagnosis or this is for educational purposes only. You must see your healthcare professional to take this on your own or make it or whatever you want to do. So having said that, yes, we fill it to the top with fresh cayenne pepper. You know, with herbs, when you're making a tincture or an extract, there's often a ratio like 1:3, 1:5. There's no throw the ratio out the window with this. First of all, you want it to be hot enough. Cayenne peppers aren't really all that hot. They're at about 30,000 Scovilles or 30,000 heat units. The other thing is that fresh cayenne peppers are filled with water. So you're not going to get the full benefit of extracting by putting fresh cayenne pepper. The reason I use fresh cayenne pepper is it just tastes really good. I like the way it tastes. It has a peppery taste, as if it was like a sweet pepper with some heat to it. So you need the extract or the menstruum. The thing that's going to pull out the active ingredient, which is capsaicin, is going to be 100 proof or better alcohol. So this is 100 proof Svedka vodka. And the reason I chose Svedka vodka because I want to be a purist. We do everything organically. And in Sweden, they don't allow GMOs. So this is grown, by the way, vodka is mainly grown from wheat these days. This is grown from non-GMO wheat in Sweden. But with a little bit more research and learning, I understood that it doesn't matter what vodka you use. If this is distilled in the distilling process, it's going to take all the impurities out of it, so you can use whatever vodka you want. It just should be 100 proof or better, and I prefer a glass jar too, so I don't want to be putting plastic into my tinctures. So it's very simple. Once you fill it all the way to the top, you should label it and mark it what it is.
Label, label, label.
Yes, and then you just pour it in. This vodka is for medicinal usages only. You fill this right to the top, and then you check it again to see if it's filled to the top. Then it has had a settle. And then, actually I'm going to use a plastic top because the alcohol could corrode and rust a metal top. So a plastic top is actually better for this application. And that's it. So then you want to put it in a cool, dark place. Could be in your closet. It's not really super picky, just as long as it's not really hot. The cooler, the better. And then mark it and label it and set it on your calendar. It should be ready in 8 weeks, but I have sometimes let it go longer than that. The longer you leave it, the more it has a distinct peppery taste to it, and the hotter it is too.
During the 6 to 8 weeks or 8 weeks plus that it's tincturing, should they turn it?
Yes.
Should they check to see if anything has evaporated and add more alcohol?
Once a week. You could even store it this way 1 week, and then shake it up and store it this way the other week. Look, I bet you that I could even put some, yeah, look at, you don't want peppers exposed to the top. Now both of these are preservatives, both peppers and vodka are preservatives, so it's almost impossible to think like this because they're both preservatives. But if you want to be extra careful, not more than 12 weeks, so there's no possibility of bacterial growth, which shouldn't happen, but just to be safe.
Okay.
And then after 8 to 10 weeks, it's time to strain it. So you just simply strain it through a strainer. And if you want to get every last drop out of it, you can use something called a potato ricer.
Okay.
And you could just put it in there and squeeze it and get every last drop out of it.
Okay, so when we strain it, we just use like a fine mesh strainer because
Yeah.
we want to get like all the seeds and all that stuff out of it. What do you do with all these peppers after you strain off the liquid?
I don't see any value with them, so we just compost them.
Okay.
So here's a finished product of Cayenne.
Okay.
This was batched in 2018.
Nice.
And they say it's good for about 5 years, so this is reaching its end. We'll probably just use this at home.
Mhm.
Some people say it has no end because there's 2 preservatives there, pepper, cayenne pepper.
Mhm.
But look at this one. We grew Carolina Reaper.
Ooh,
This one is super hot. Like it's
Amber.
off the scale on the heat units.
nice.
And I don't even know how I'm gonna begin to use this.
And you tincture that the same way.
Tincture that the same way with 100 proof vodka. And then here's ghost pepper, which is another awesomely hot one. And I'm gonna find a way to use this. Probably instead of using a whole dropper full with cayenne, you might get away with just 1 drop of this, but I haven't really got into that yet. But this year I'm looking forward to making a jalapeno tincture
Beautiful.
because they all have a uniquely different taste. And unlike store-bought hot pepper tinctures, mine actually have a distinctive taste per pepper. There's cayenne, there's jalapeno pepper, there's ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper. They all have a distinct taste and they taste great.
Mm-hmm. But for medicinal purposes, cayenne is the go-to.
Anything with capsaicin is a go-to, but cayenne is the safest, easiest one to use because it's not real high on the charts. Yes.
Okay.
Probably the jalapeno would be low on the charts too, so you don't have to be too concerned about the heat of that either.
That is.
And I'm available if anybody has any questions. I am an herbalist and a health coach, so if you have any health-related questions or if you'd like a consult, you can contact me.
Okay guys, so we're gonna show you how to take the cayenne pepper. Now again, remember, when I first started, I started with 1 drop in a mug full of water. But right now you see I have this nice little glass of water. And Brendan, you're gonna add to this.
How much should I put in there, Dawn?
Put a dropper full.
A whole dropper full. That's a
whole
whole
dropper
dropper full.
Beautiful, just like that.
And then I'm going to do the same. And here we are celebrating our harvest. And it's down the hatch
To health.
to help. It's good. This was a good batch.
It is good. And when it goes down, you can feel it like a little bit burn your throat, but it's like a healthy burn. Like I feel like if there was any bacteria, bad bacteria growing in there, it's gone
It is
after
antibacterial.
drinking
It
this.
is an antibacterial.
It is antibacterial. So kudos. I hope you guys will give tincturing a try. Super easy, super healthy. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave us a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And please share our content. Cheers
Cheers.
and blessings.